these slash lines. Just show us the market's moving up. These are not candlesticks. And a bullish Harami is an unusually black real body. Remember the difference in psychology. That's what we're gauging. The long black real body on your right, the bears have command of the market, and then a small real body, black or white, that's within the prior real body. This is non-4x. How do we know this is non-4x? What's the difference? What's happening between one candle, one session and the other? Let's look at the bearish Harami. It's gapping. As soon as you see any pattern with a gap, you know it has to be adjusted for the 4x market. So for non-4x, for 4x, let me show you this also. Once again, bringing out the difference between a bar chart analysis and a candlestick chart analysis. This second black real body within the bearish Harami is also, the way I show it here, is also called an inside session. An inside session is when today's high-low, assuming we're looking at a daily chart, today's high-low range is within yesterday's high-low range. So here, as I display it, is an inside day. But once again, like with the engulfing patterns, all we're concerned about is the real body, or are the real bodies. I'm going to extend the upper shadow on that first spinning top. Okay. That is no longer an inside day, but is it a Harami? Yes. Real body, small real body, yes.
The upper shadow is longer than the higher.
Right.
I mean,
Right. So the upper shadow that I showed here is now above the prior upper shadow, but that's not important as long as that real body is within the prior real body. Right? And what's nice about, unfortunately, about the non-4x is that if we have a candle like this, a Harami pattern like this, notice how deeply the market gapped down on the opening, right, and stayed down there. Right? That, to me, is more negative than would be if we had a Harami like that. And I think we could see why, right? Because the market didn't gap down. But in the Forex market, that's the way it's going to be. Okay? And a Harami, once again, is a small real body within an unusually long white real body. I'll use the bearish engulfing pattern as the dark cloud cover as a resistance area. I don't use Harami as resistance or support. That's one difference. Another difference is, to me, with the black real body wrapping around the white real body, the bearish engulfing pattern, the odds of a turn are higher than it would be with the dark cloud cover, right? The black real body only gets partially into the white real body. And the odds of a turn are least compared to those three with the Harami. Yes?
Would you say what you said prior to that last statement again?
Okay.
It was setting resistance levels.
A resistance. Okay, I'll use a dark cloud cover and a bearish engulfing pattern as resistance. Remember, you take the high of the bearish engulfing pattern or the high of the dark cloud cover. The highest high of those two candlestick lines will make resistance. I don't use a Harami as resistance. Okay, so in other words, here we have that long upper shadow. On the left, I would not use that as an important resistance area. I still would use it as a resistance because it could be a pivot high, but it doesn't have the same consequence as resistance as a bearish engulfing pattern or a dark cloud cover. Now, let me ask you this. Where do you think I would be more nervous? What if I saw a Harami confirming a resistance area, an important resistance area, say horizontal resistance, and a bearish engulfing pattern that doesn't confirm resistance? Where would I be more likely to initiate a short sale? A Harami, yeah. Right, because it confirms a resistance area. If I saw a bearish engulfing pattern that didn't confirm resistance, if I was long and I had some profits, I would probably use it to exit a position or lighten up in a position. And this is really the main difference between using a candlestick signal to enter a new position as opposed to using a candlestick signal to exit. If a candlestick signal confirms a Western signal or another candlestick signal or some group of indicators, I would use that candlestick signal to initiate a new position. If a candlestick signal is not confirming something else, I would use that to exit a position or lighten up in a position. Not all candlestick signals are created equally. It all depends on where they appear through the prism of the overall market. So let's look at Harami here. Speaking of Harami at resistance, see how these two Harami emerged at a resistance area? And this is what the harami will look like with the Forex markets. It's going to be a black real body that's right near the top of the prior real body. In fact, if the black real body got bigger in the harami, and more than halfway into the white candle, what would it become? A dark cloud cover. Deeper, wraps around the white candle, bearish engulfing pattern. Right, so it's the degree to which the black candle gets into the white candle that we can make it more important. So a bearish engulfing pattern to me would be a little bit more important resistance than a dark cloud cover, and I don't even use the harami as a resistance area. Why do you think the market stalled with the harami? What pattern did we have on this chart before the first harami? See, bearish engulfing pattern, black wrapping around the white. Even if you didn't have that, was it a resistance area anyway? Yeah. This is not a harami. Why? White. And what else? Where's that real body in relation to the other real body? All right. It's above it. It has to be within it. Okay, here's another harami, confirming some engulfing patterns. Okay, here's a bull harami. And even if the second real body is a doji instead of a small real body, it's still a harami. Okay, here's another harami. We saw this before with the hammer. Remember somebody had asked the question about those small real bodies before the hammer? Okay, here we have a bearish harami and a bullish harami. I think those are two strong words. If you hear bearish harami, you think the market's going to go from up to down. But just think of it really as the market, the bulls are losing their breath. And the bullish harami, the bears are losing their breath. Now we've looked at single candlestick lines, the hammer, the shooting star, the high wave candle. We've looked at double candlestick lines, the harami, the dark cloud cover, the piercing pattern. Now we're going to segue into the triple candlestick lines, where we have 3 candle lines, and one of these patterns is the morning star. Market's moving south, long black real body. Bears are in control or in command of the market. Then small real body, black or white. This is non-Forex, black or white. The market is still, to me, is still negative because it's still it's holding the lows. But the small real body lessens the downtrend. I would have it, the short-term trend down a little bit more to neutral, but mainly down. The real turning signal comes in that white candle. Remember, we're looking at the psychology of the market. The bulls have now taken control of the market. We want to get deeply into the black real body, the first black real body. Okay. Forex. Okay, this is non-Forex. You see how the real bodies don't have to be touching. In fact, this is ideal. If the real bodies don't touch, it's classic. With the Forex, you can't have that. Why? Because the opening and closing are going to be the same. So, with the Forex market, market's moving down. The close is here. The open will be here. So this is going to have to be a black real body or a doji. Okay. I said most of the time black or white because it can also be, even if we have a little bit of a white candle like this, that's fine. But most of the time it's going to be a black real body or a doji. The main thing, this would also be obviously a harami, right? If this was a white candle. And then a white real body that gets deeply into the black candle.